Hello learners, welcome to my YouTube channel N-TechXom. In this video, we will learn Agile Scrum Foundation. Today, in the first lecture, we will learn Agile Scrum concepts. When you finish this lesson, you should be able to describe the Agile manifesto and why it was developed. Explain the difference between traditional waterfall approach to project management and the Agile approach. Cite some of the most common agile methods and a few to their practices and describe what Scrum is. There are two main approaches in the project management, the traditional waterfall approach and the agile approach. Originally, agile developed as a way to better manage software development projects. Agile emerged in the late 1990s specifically in response to the challenges encountered when managing software development projects using the traditional waterfall approach, specifically addressing the burdens of heavy documentations and frequent changes in requirements. Agile technique and best practices begin to emerge and gain prominence in software development projects. This led to a meeting in Feb 2001 in Park City, Utah, where 17 leading software developers wrote what has become known as Agile Manifesto. Let's review the Agile Manifesto for software development together. We are in covering better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others to do it. Through this work, we have come to value individuals and interactions over process and tools, working softwares over comprehensive documentation, customer collaborations over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. That is, while there is the value in the item on the right, we value the item on the left more. We call them the statement of value, and you can see that on the right hand side those are items that are more relevant for the traditional or waterfall approach. And on the right you have those things that are more agile in nature. Let's review each of these four lines together. Individuals and interactions over process and tools. Clearly, any project requires process and tools. However, individuals and their interactions deliver better results when the emphasis is not on the processes in the tools. Working softwares over comprehensive documentation. Documentations here refer to things like status report, progress report, detailed specifications, which do not really demonstrate any real progress or value. Therefore, the emphasis is on working software that can be delivered and demonstrated. Customer collaborations over contract negotiation. Organizations need to be flexible and accommodating rather than following detailed definitions listed in contracts. Responding to change over following a plan. In Agile, small piece of work working softwares are delivered to the customer incrementally, and the customer is involved in the project from the beginning to the end. So, in Agile, we are responsive to the customer and willing to make even mid-course corrections in order to deliver to the customer and value what the customers want. Here we can see what it might look like to manage a project using a waterfall approach. You can see that the system and software requirements would need to be identified and documented upfront. That would be followed by the necessary analysis and program design work. Then comes the actual coding and testing. That's then followed by the hands off to the customer or to operations. As you can see, there is a heavy upfront cost of documentations as well as the status reporting that would be or to be done during the course of the project. You can also see that it would be difficult to respond to change in this kind of approach. In fact, the Standish Group issued a study that showed that software development projects using the Agile approach succeed 3 times more often than using the waterfall approach. The Standish Group defined project success as being on time, on budget, and delivering all of the planned features. The study summarized as follows: the Agile process is the universal remedy for software development project failure. Software applications developed through the Agile process have 3 times the success rate of the traditional waterfall method and a much lower percentage of time and cost overruns. So, what is Agile? In no particular order, let's review some key Agile features together. Focus on people. Agile is focused on the professionals who actually do their work and how they use their knowledge and skills to consistently deliver high quality software. Customer involvement. In Agile, the customer or an individual who is the voice of the customer is part of the team throughout the project. The customer determines the scope of the project, prioritize the work to be done, and review the working software delivered at the end of each iterations and then making a determinations as to whether it is acceptable or not. Multidisciplinary cooperating team. Each agile team includes the skills necessary to design, develop, test, integrate, and demonstrate working software to the customer. Trust. Since development team determine how they are going to complete the customer's requirement, the project lead and others must trust the team to get the job done. Incremental. In Agile, working software is delivered to the customer in short increments of usually 1 to 6 weeks in duration. Time boxes. A time box is a predetermined amount of time, never to be exceeded, in which agile team do their planning, work and review. Another one of the issue that agile was developed to address in the quality of the software being delivered to the customer. At the beginning of a project, an agile team determines the metrics for the project, or in other words, how things will be measured during the course of the project. One of the key metrics used in every agile project, for example, is escape defects. Escape defects are those defects that are missed by the team and find their way into the customer hand. Agile is actually a family of methods. Some of the most common agile methods are Scrum, XP, Crystal, Lean, and Kanban. All agile methods use the Agile manifesto for their most fundamental guidance. While there are many similarities among the various agile methods, Scrum has emerged as the most popular of them all. In fact, about two-thirds of all agile projects use the Scrum method. Scrum is a tool and practice agnostic. It actually uses tools and practices developed for other agile methods. So consider it as a framework. The second most common agile method develop the practices of continuous integrations and pair programming. Continuous integration is commonly used in Scrum projects. Crystal pioneered what is Bristol pioneered what is called osmotic communication. Osmotic communications refer to the information that has overhead in the background of the steam room and is observed. A task board or Kanban board is a work and workflow visualization tool that enable you to optimize the workflow of your work. A common prioritization tool used in Scrum is called Moscow, which was developed this part of DSTM, Dynamic System Developed Model. The acronym Moscow stands for must, should, could, and want. Think of Scrum as a lightweight framework that utilizes principles and practices that assist teams in delivering working software in short cycles to the customers, enabling rapid feedback, continuous improvements, and quick response to changes. It promotes delivering values as in working software to the customer in an incremental and iterative way. It is not a process or technique for developing software, rather, it is a framework within which various processes, techniques, and practices are employed. In Scrum, the iterations that deliver working software to the customer are called sprints. In each iteration or sprint result in potentially shippable software. Here we have a brief overview of Scrum. As you can see, there are three roles in Scrum: the product owner, Scrum master, and development team. And you can see that there are a number of rituals of that are a part of Scrum as well. Here, the sprint planning meeting, the daily Scrum, the sprint review, sprint retrospective, and the purging and grooming of the product backlog. Common artifacts used in Scrum includes the product backlog, the sprint backlog, definitions of done, and of course potentially shippable products. And then there the how we actually do Scrum, the rules which we will cover throughout this course. Let's review what we have covered in this video. We were over the Agile manifesto. We talked about the traditional waterfall approach to project management. We reviewed what Agile is and touches on the things like customer involvement, trust, and time boxing. And we briefly talk about matrices and escape defects. We reviewed some of the Agile methods and we reviewed what Scrum is. Hello learners, please like and subscribe my YouTube channel so I can prepare some more valuable videos for you. Thank you.